Y'all are going wild in these comments. Let me just say, we have not been in a recession. I know that it feels like that because we have been dealing with inflation since the pandemic. But because prices are high, that does not mean that we are in a recession. Overall, the economic growth, the health of the American economy has been phenomenal up until now. And it has been phenomenal because the last administration put things in place to ensure that there were investments made, that consumer confidence was up, consumer spending. Y'all, the GDP was projected at like 5.2%. You know what they're projecting now? Negative 3.4%. Like, to go from it, we don't have to talk. It's a lot. It's a huge drop. That is because tariffs are inflationary. Tariffs will drive the prices of things up. So there's indicators that will tell you whether or not we're actually heading into a recession. One of the things is, like consumer confidence and consumer spending. Are people spending money in the economy? No. Why are they not spending money? I told y'all last week, like, people are trying to save money because they don't know what will happen. And the markets do not like instability. And if corporations are looking at potential tariffs on products that they import, that they use these products to sell, to pay their staff, to keep their, they will let go of people. People will lose their jobs. It's already happening. People are losing their jobs because of these tariffs. Another thing, another indicator on top of GDP, in our case, it ain't no growth, but consumer confidence, consumer spending is down. Another indicator is whether or not people are comfortable making investments. Y'all, if you've looked at your retirement account, 401k, stocks, anything like that, you probably had to take a Xanax or something, because it is absolutely crazy. And the reason that it is so crazy is because it is intentional. This is intentional. So like, if usually when we go through a recession like 2008, the price of stuff went down. You know why the prices went down? Because the demand went down, because there is not a demand for, a PS5 if people don't have $500 to spend on it. Like, the demand goes down, so the prices go down. This is literally Econ 101, supply versus demand. But the problem with us now is, where prices would normally go down during a recession, everyday prices are not going to go down. Do y'all know how many medications we get from other countries? Generic brands, almost all of them come from other countries. And just think about, if you have to make a choice between getting your medication, paying for your medication, which is now going to have at least a 10% tariff on it, some of it 24, they going back and forth with China, they talking about 104%. Y'all, if you have to make a choice between that and buying a new pair of jeans, buying a new pair of shoes, like, you are not doing that. Because even though in a recession prices typically fall, because of the tariffs, which is driving this recession, prices are going to go up. Which is why this particular recession is not like, 2008 recession. Because 2008, big banks got bailed out. 2025, nobody is getting bailed out. The rich will, the same ones that we're getting $4.5 trillion in tax breaks, they will come in, they will buy up the stocks that the prices on your 401k that plummeted, they're going to buy those up. You lose your job, you can't pay your mortgage, they're going to come buy it up because there's no regulations. I don't know if y'all remember, but the other person who did not win talked about regulating corporations and the amount of single family homes that they could purchase. Now, these corporations will turn around and rent it back to you for, $1,000 more than what your mortgage payment was. So that will be affected. Y'all, 25% tariffs on cars that are not manufactured here in the United States. No car is manufactured here in the United States, bumper to bumper. We import parts from other countries for every single vehicle. So, yeah, you probably need to keep that in mind. As a matter of fact, I probably need to add that to the recession prep list. Go do car maintenance, get your tires rotated. If you need new tires, oil change, all of those things, stuff that you've been putting off, yeah, don't put it off. Not unless you can afford to pay a much larger rate, not just for, the materials, but also the labor. The issue that I have is people don't understand that because we have been dealing with high prices, that is not the same as a recession. We were not in a recession. I get it. Prices are up. And they have been for years at this point. But the reason that they have been is because they went up during the pandemic because of the supply chain issue. And corporations, after the supply chain issue was resolved, they never brought the prices back down. Like, they are on record indicating this. They never brought the prices down. So even though our economy overall, unemployment was down, GDP was up, like even though the overall health of our economy was good, people didn't feel like it because the prices were still high. However, but whatever, that does not mean that we were in a recession. And literally it's so many comments, I couldn't even choose one. Everybody's saying we were in. No, y'all are about to see what a recession is actually going to look like. And that's why you need to prepare. That's why you need to do whatever you can to try to stave off some of the economic impact, because there will be economic impact. We manufacture very little here in these United States. Now, the United States, we get an A in marketing because the American exceptionalism that we parrot, that we teach our children, like we're the best country in the world, we get an A in marketing. But shop, tech, we don't do that well. Like, those vocational, we don't do that. We just don't. We do not manufacture here. And that's because corporations, lobbyists, like politicians decided 50 plus years ago, you know what? It would be much better if you could move your corporation, to manufacture all the goods that we've been providing for blue collar workers here in America. We have to deal with those pesky things like labor unions and OSHA regulations and equal employment opportunity. We don't want to have to deal with all that. You should move your corporation overseas. You can pay less. You don't have those same regulations, and you will be able to make more. And that's what corporations have been doing for decades. And y'all really think that 47 is fixing to bring manufacturing back? First of all, he won't bring nothing back. It would be the corporations who made that decision. And corporations are not beholden to administrations. They are beholden to their shareholders. And if you've ever been to a shareholder meeting, or if you've ever gotten that little notice, say, hey, you can, this is what we're going to be discussing. If you want to vote by proxy, if you're a part of a credit union or something, that their concern is making sure that shareholders are happy, because shareholders are what keep their business floating, that keeps them investing. And shareholders they're concerned about stock price and dividends. They're not bringing manufacturing back. And if they did, y'all wouldn't work in them factories. Y'all would not work in the factories, especially not with the way this administration is going after labor unions. The whole reason that we have a 40-hour work week is because of labor unions. The whole reason that if you get hurt on work, you can actually get paid, you can get compensated. Workman's comp, labor unions. They don't want labor unions. So I don't know why y'all think that they are actually going to bring manufacturing back. Because you will not work for less than minimum wage in hazardous conditions where your body can be mutilated. You won't do it. And the fact that y'all are championing bringing this stuff back, So your kids can go. So you went to school, or you probably didn't, because let's just be real, uneducated people voted for this administration. But you think that it's going to be a better look. Yeah, no, it's not coming back. And everybody will get to experience their recession like in real time, because it sucked. I'm just going to be real honest. It sucked. So whatever you can do, there's a playlist, y'all. Just anything you can add to whatever you're buying now, definitely do it.